Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Angela. And I decided to do a tag today. It is by Moonflower Moments, I think. If not, I'll make it right in the comments or in the description. But I've seen this tag going around a few places. So I thought I would jump in. I have actually put it off for so long that I've actually had to change my newest 5 like 3 times. Because I just keep getting ducks in the mail all of a sudden. But it's hashtag first 5, last 5. So the premise is, what was your first 5 decks and what was your last 5 decks? So I started reading tarot in 2019, not that long ago. And it's funny because I've watched a couple of the videos from back then and I'm like, oh, I have like 7 decks. I'm so excited. That's probably all I'm ever going to get. And I've got like at least 300 now. So, it was just funny watching myself go, oh, I'm not a collector. And then 5 years later, you're like, yeah. 6 years later, you're like, yeah, something went terribly wrong. I've become addicted to beautiful things. So the first 5 decks I have, the very first one is the Radiant Rider-Waite Smith. I made a little box for it because I hated the big box that came in. And then I started trying to do Lisa Pepez's Tarot with Training Wheels. And I trimmed it down to this because I hated the white borders on it. I'm like, oh, I can't. It's pocket size now. Like a Tarot no 10 size, really. But that's what it used to look like. Just extra card in there. I never bonded with this deck. I woke up one morning, literally, and I've told you, and I trimmed that perfectly well. It looks good. And I edged it in this highlighter yellow to match the backs. I got this. I woke up one morning, literally with the need to buy a tarot deck. I had no interest the day before. It literally happened overnight. I woke up one morning and I had anxiety, like almost to the point where I was having panic attacks that I needed to buy a tarot deck. And I'm like, what? Why? I have no interest in buying a tarot deck. This is right at the beginning of all these other things happening to me realizing I have some kind of awakening happening, some kind of spiritual journey happening. I was just really realizing things happen when I meditate, that some of my dreams were connected to all of these things that were happening. It was really a aha moment. And I went out and did a lot of studying on what decks to buy. And I decided on this one when I was in the store. Went to Barnes & Noble and bought it because they had a huge section at the time. Now they're down to like 2 aisles, little aisles. And this one had a book. And I'm like, oh yeah, that's great. And then it sat. And I pulled it out, looked at it. I'm like, I hate this deck. I still do. I still have no connection at all to this deck. And it's in my collection to remind me that you should only buy what you connect with. You should only buy something that interests you. And I just bought, at the time, what I thought I should have. I have a few straight up RWS decks now. I love them. But it's a different coloring. And I thought I would love this because of the coloring in it. I hate it. Hate it, hate it, hate it. Don't know why, but I do like it better trimmed and borderless. And I wish they would come out with a borderless of this. But yeah, I trimmed it it came out perfect. The trim job did. But this was my very first deck ever. Like I said, I woke up one morning literally with the need to buy a tarot deck. And the more I refused it, the more the panic set in. So I went out, and the second I bought this deck, the panic went away. The anxiety went away, and I'm like, why? Why? Anyway, I got this bigger box when it was the bigger size. And now it's a tiny, tiny thing. I need to make a pouch for it, really. And then the first card I ever connected with in the 8 of Swords, I made a copy of and had put on the box. But yeah, that's the very first deck I bought. The very next deck I bought, I didn't even know it was an Oracle deck. It's an Oracle deck. It's the Earth Magic Oracle cards by Stephen D. Farmer. This is a Hay House deck. I think I paid $16 for it online on Amazon. And that's when I realized, oh my God, Amazon has these. It's never been edged. Most of my Oracle decks, for some reason, feel sacred, so I don't modify them in any way. I have one Oracle deck maybe two, that I've modded, that I've edged the sides on. That's it. I bought this because of the dragonfly in it, and I'm like, right there, speak of the devil, emergence. And at the time, because dragonfly is my animal, at the time, I just saw this card, and I'm like, I need that card in my life. And I did not know what an Oracle deck was. I was so new to all of this. I didn't know there was a difference between Oracle and Tarot. I didn't know the difference between indie and mass market. I didn't know anything. I knew nothing. And I bought this deck. Actually bought it. I bought a knockoff first. Didn't know anything about knockoffs. And then I'm like, no. And I bought this one off Amazon. This legit version. Oh God, that's gorgeous. This was my ride or die deck for a long time. I said, maybe I can only read Oracle, because I was still trying to read the Tarot. It just wasn't, nothing sunk in. Nothing. And I'm like, maybe I can only read Oracle. And I was taking this deck everywhere, reading for people with it, with just this Oracle deck. And they were like, whoa, that's crazy, blah, 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 blah. Oh, look at that Shaman, the Ancient Healing Wisdom. I love it. Love it. I haven't pulled this out in a long while, of course, because I have so many decks. I love this Whale and Breach. Almost makes me feel like I have another deck, I think, Breaking the Glass Ceiling. That's what that feels like. I love it. I love it to pieces. This is my very first Oracle deck. And it's the second deck I ever bought. And I love it. I bonded with it immediately upon buying it. Then I bought with it, because I love anything Greek mythology. I bought the Greek mythology reading cards. So they actually came together. This is by Findhorn Press. I think I only have one other deck that's by Findhorn Press. It's got a cool little book too. Of course, it's not edged. It's the same Oracle size as the one I just showed you. So they came together, but I always consider this my third deck, because it never really got used the way the other one did. This, to me, is a art studio in a deck. Like, this is my personal Greek mythology art gallery, this deck. And it feels so precious to me. It feels like real things here, which is probably why I never use it. Now, when I first bought it, I did take it out for a spin and use it. And I'm like, oh, this is cool. And it was literally my birthday week that week. And I kept pulling the Trojan horse. It was talking about presents and all that. I'm like, ooh, I'm going to get a lot of presents. It was weird. But I don't really use it at all, just because it's so beautiful, and it's like an art gallery in a deck, which I love. 2 pieces. And I don't use it a whole lot, just because it feels that precious to me, like it's an special art gallery, and I love it, and it's so beautiful. And then when people started doing like Greek mythology things, I'm like, ooh, I have this Oracle deck. And I did pull it out a little bit, but I still never really use it. I have the Mythos Tarot also. That's Greek mythology. I don't ever use it either. I'm just like, they're just pretty. And sometimes you just need pretty in your life. So then after those 3, I decided, let me give Tarot another shot. And I bought the Tarot Illuminati by Eric C. Dunn. It is a Lo Scarabeo deck. It is a magnetic box. It reminds you of the Llewellyn boxes. The big box, the big book. I mean, in this book has brought me to tears. So the book alone is worth what I paid for it. But I think it's like $20-something now, but it wasn't when I bought it. It was much more, like $40. I tried to edge it in this paint marker. Horrible job. Extra cards here. These are the backs. I've talked about this deck so many. This is one of my favorite 8 of Swords. I've talked about this deck so many times because this is the deck everything finally started sinking in and I learned how to read tarot on. And I'm like, oh, and that's what that meant. And that's what that meant. And this Three of Swords, we'll talk about that in a second. But I did my first ever, stepping into the card and walking through with this tower. I've done so much, path working and things like that, all different things with this deck. I consider this my first tarot because the other one I never really used. I still don't use it ever. This one has been put through the ringer. All the suits are different nationalities. And I like that. I like that they're different. I pulled out, I wasn't getting it. I was just like, I just can't read tarot. I just can't read. I bought this other one for no reason. And I was mad at myself because I bought it. I'm like, I still can't get it. I still don't get anything. And then I pulled this card out and something said, toss a book. I literally heard a voice say, toss a book. What do you see? What do you hear? What do you feel? What do you smell in this card? And all of a sudden, I could see not the Three of Swords at the heart, but the storm raging in the background. I could see the waves bashing against the rocks. I could hear them. I could smell the sea salt in the air. And I could feel the lightning and tingling, and I could smell the ozone smell of a storm brewing. And I'm like, what is happening? And I just kept hearing your rainbow is coming. And I'm like, oh my God. And I was trying to do a reading for someone. And that whole experience was meant for me and that person, I think, because when I relayed to them, your rainbow is coming, they lost it. They're like, oh my God, this is exactly what I need to hear. And I'm like, oh my God, like, yeah. And from that point on, it's like I unlocked something inside of me, my brain, my whatever was holding me back. And since then, I was able to start soaking in everything. And that's why I tend to not read the book, even if it's a brand new deck. I won't look at the book because it's not based on, once it becomes my deck, it's not based on whatever that person deemed that card to be, because I could read the same card 10 times for 10 different people and it all means something different. So I stopped reading the books because every now and then I'll go and look at the meeting and something will tell me, hey, go look in the book, and it will be exactly what that person needs. And so I just don't ever feel the need to read the book unless I feel called to. So this is the last of the last 5 is my Lightseers Tarot. This is also a Hay House deck. I've had it so long, look, the box starting to fret. Box broke right there. I'm so sad. If you don't know, this is my deck to end all decks. I could have stopped here, and I almost did stop here. I'm like, I don't need any more decks. I actually just ran into one of my older videos. Love that shuffle. And I edged it in this teal, which you can tell it's been well loved. I even have the mini now in the 10. And I'm probably at some point going to get another copy of this. If it ever goes down cheap again. Just because it is my deck. It is my soul deck. It is the deck that if I had to get rid of all my decks, you would have to pry this one out of my cold dead hands. That's how much I love this deck. This deck changed what the Illuminati illuminated for me. No pun intended, or maybe yes. This one peeled back a layer of that and was like, there's so much more to this than you think there is. And I'm like, whoa. And it just blew me away. And this is me in a deck. Like, I can't even explain, even the smell of this particular deck feels like home. It feels on a soul level like this deck was made for me. And that's the only way I can explain it. Every time I've had any kind of this Eight of Swords is the reason I bought this deck. And I'm like, why am I? Because I kept seeking out the Eight of Swords. Eight of Swords, like I said, my first deck ever, I put a picture on there because for some reason I was addicted to the Eight of Swords and I could not figure it out. And this card in this deck released me or made me realize why I was so obsessed with the Eight of Swords. And once the realization hit, a whole bunches of things changed for me. Like everything changed for me. I had things that I was still holding on to for years, decades, that I didn't know I was holding on to. And that just, with that one card of saying, this is not your reality, it's your perception of your reality, blew me out of the water. And I was forever bonded to this deck because of the Eight of Swords and because what it taught me. And that's a beautiful devil. So that is my last 5. And I won't talk about as much as the newer ones because I just got them. So, but these 5, you can tell I've been through the ringer with them, right? So that was my very first 5 ever. So the last 5, we're going to go in order of 5, like up. We're going to go to number 5 and then to 1 because, yeah, to the latest. So the last 5th deck I got was the Tarot Landscapes. And I don't know, I just got this a few days ago. And or last week before, I don't know. It's been a week or so. I don't care for the cardstock. It's already bowed. It's super thick. Super thick. I have to shuffle it like this. This is a, it's on Amazon for like $24. It comes in this nice tuck box, but then it comes in a bigger box, which is on my shelf over there. I don't carry it around in there. I carried it around in this pouch, that I made a long time ago, and the book is in there. And I was gonna, I want to say AGM or something like that is who created this. But I find I keep pulling it out. Even after I put it up. This 3 of Swords, that's another one of my dogs. I put that on Simon from the Hermit's Caves thing today because he pulled the 3 of Swords yesterday. I love everything about this deck. Look at that Sun card. Gorgeous. Look at that World card. Oh my god, now both of them are going. Hold on. Okay. They might have stopped. We'll see. Hold on. They're watching the FedEx guy. He's just sitting in his truck now. If only they knew. He knew he would go away. This death card, horrible, but beautiful. I don't know what it is about this deck. I think it's the nature of everything. Yeah, it's gorgeous. I freaking love it. 2 pieces. And so far, it's been a fabulous read. I used it in conjunction. Look at that moon. Come on. I used it in conjunction with a couple other decks, and oh my god, it's stunning, and it's beautiful, and I freaking love it. 2 pieces. This is the one of these 5 that you're going to see here now. The one I've worked with the most because I've had it longer. Well, yeah. Then we have number 2 is the replacement deck of the Wild Reflections Tarot by Weissspell. The first deck was a Kickstarter, and I didn't get it on Kickstarter, but like a week after the Kickstarter ended, it was available on Amazon for $18, which I think irked some people. Same cardstock and everything, same gilding, but there was a misprint on the original, and they have since replaced it. I have used this a little bit, maybe a little bit more than the Landscapes Tarot, just because I've had it previously, you know what I mean? This is a second copy. This is the reason why I bought this. This 8 of Swords reminds me of the 8 of Swords in my Light Seers. And in fact, these 2 pair are amazing together. And I love them to pieces. I love the shimmy of the indie cardstock, even though it's not indie. Well, I guess. I don't know if Weissspell is considered an indie publishing company or not. But this deck is gorgeous. And I love it. 2 pieces. But I didn't know if I should count this because it's just a replacement. But it is technically one of the last 5 decks I've gotten in the mail. And it's gorgeous. So I counted it. Considering that everything else I have is Oracle decks, and 2 of them were Kickstarters. So, next, number 3, we have the Arcana Folia Oracle. This was a Kickstarter. I've used the crap out of it. I put the sticker that came with it in there because that's a dragonfly, and dragonflies are my thing. And this is freaking round, and it's edged in green, and it's freaking gorgeous. And it actually shuffles. Well, Riffle shuffles amazing. I've used this the last week. So beautiful. So stinking beautiful. Beautiful. Look at this transmutation. Shifting energy, emotion, or appearance. Gorgeous. Mushrooms. It's got frogs. It's got dragonfly. It's got all the things that touch on my little Virgo heart. I almost regretted buying it. I'm like, oh, nobody's going to know what this deck is. I don't care. It's gorgeous. As soon as I got in the mail, I'm like, it's everything I've ever wanted in an Oracle deck. And we got a typewriter, plot twist, unexpected development of events. You got a typewriter that does my writer heart good. Soup. It's just fabulous. You got a kitty cat in there. Oh my gosh. It's so stunning. So stunning. So stunning. I was trying to find the dragonfly, but the snail. It's so beautiful. So freaking beautiful. I love it. 2 pieces. Looks like a hermit there. Epiphany of the moon. Got a moon in there. Intuition. Look at the little hedgehog. Dragonfly. Serendipity. Magical and character. I love it. Love it. 2 pieces. This was a beautiful freaking deck. And I'm so excited. So excited. So that was number 3. Number 4. I just happened to purchase this the other night. It was a Modern Life Oracle deck. This was $9. It's normally like $16 on Amazon, and it was $9 as a Black Friday sale 3 days ago. Stuff was amazing. Love the backs. I don't know if this is AI or not, but this is a pretty cool deck. I ain't gonna lie. There is no book. The book is online, but you can scan that, and it pops up with the book immediately. And I'm going to tell you right now, the book is deep. Very deep for a $9 deck. Don't know. I think it's cool. Really cool. It's different than anything else I have in my collection. I freaking love it. Look at the cat lady. I love it. Love it. Love it. I am a cat lady. I'm a cat and dog lady. But it's a really cool deck, I think. And it doesn't have a whole lot of cards, but it's pretty nifty. I love this Squirrel Master. Look at that sky in the background. That's just gorgeous. I want to say that's probably AI. I feel like this is partially AI. It's just stunning, though, I think. And it's pretty cool for a modern deck. I don't have many decks this modern. But it's cool. So the last deck, the deck I got in yesterday. Today is Sunday. The game just started. It is November 24th, 2024. And I got this bad boy yesterday in the mail. It's a Kickstarter by Kelly Burton. This is the Mystic Augur and Sage Oracle. And oh my god, it's so freaking beautiful. Everything about this screams Virgo. It's green. It's dragonflies. It's all the things. It's all the things. Look at that copper gilding. And then the backs are my favorite color, green. And it's got dragonflies. Reversible. Yeah, it's fantastic. And it's like 68 cards. It's crazy. There's 65. But then you have 3, which I just shuffled them in. Then you have 3 little extra cards in there. I don't care. This deck is freaking phenomenal. Phenomenal. Gort. I mean, all of her decks are freaking beautiful. And she's one of 4 people that I can tell you without question. I don't care what she puts out, I'm buying it. Look at, there's a face in there with the squirrel eating. It says Seasons of Change, and he's trying to eat. There's like frost down here, and then there's a face. Oh, it's stunning. I love collage decks too. I have the other three she did: the Journey of the Sacred Bee, the Wisdom of the Sacred Bee, and the Keeper of the Sacred Bee. This is one of the extra cards. This is the Augur. Let you look at that. Freaking beautiful. Just freaking beautiful. And I'm like, look at him. Stunning, 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 stunning. Here we have the Sage, which is the one I read. And it's cool. Cool, cool, cool. And then here's the Mystic. So that's the 3 extra cards. So there's 68 cards in this deck. 65 traditional Oracle deck, or Oracle cards. Not traditional, because there's nothing about her stuff that's traditional. And look at that guy. Look at that. That's the 65. That's gorgeous with the flower. I'm just, every time I look at this deck, I'm like, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. It's gorgeous. I don't even want to say. I just got this yesterday. I've been waiting on this forever, it feels like. I have a deck coming, and it's funny that this card popped up again. This is Healing Vibration. I have a deck coming that I didn't know about until like 4 days ago, and then realized it was already on US Games, even though it doesn't show on oh my gosh, Amazon until like December 12th. That says it doesn't come out until December 12th, but it's already available and ready to go, and it's shipped, and I'm going to get it this coming week, either tomorrow or Tuesday or Wednesday, hopefully, because it's already on its way to me. But one of the decks I got in there, didn't know about it, and I'm like, oh my gosh, and I immediately bought it. Will go perfect with this deck because of this card. His wings. I'm just, and the fact that this whole deck has dragonflies on it, little sea turtles everywhere, little froggies. I'm just like, this is all the things for me. And usually her decks are. Look at that crow with the prophecy. Oh, it reminds me of the Hierophant with the keys. Just stunning, stunning, stunning deck. I love this deck already to pieces. I'm as excited about this as I was the very first deck I got of hers, which is the Journey of the Sacred Bee. Now, I will say the Journey of the Sacred Bee taunted me until I bought it. I love this fairy forest. It's gorgeous. I didn't want anything to do with the Journey of the Sacred Bee. I'm like, I don't need a bee deck. What do I need with a bee deck? And then it just kept saying, buy me, buy me, buy me. And I'm like, I don't want you. And then I went on impulse and bought it one day because I was trying to make the voices stop. And I'm like, fine, I'll go buy it. And I went and bought it. I got it in the mail literally like 4 days later. Opened it. And as I'm doing the walkthrough, I fell madly in love with it. And that was the same thing that happened with this one. I'm just like, look at the dragonflies are everywhere. And I love it so hard already. So hard. These two, both Kickstarters, both total Virgo decks, if you ask me. But that's all that's my first 5 and my last 5. I had to hurry up and do this video because I got so many more decks coming in the next week. I'm like, if they all come in, I'm going to have a whole new 5 again. So I need to just do it now and get it over with. But that is my video. If you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, don't hesitate to comment below. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you want to see more, please subscribe. And don't forget to hit that notification button so you're alerted to any future videos. And y'all have a good afternoon. Bye.